Live on the air. The Tonight Show with Sarai and Melody.
There you go. Most entertainment you'll have all week.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to K-Drama Hangout, your weekly review into your favorite K-dramas, episode by episode. I'm Sarai, and with me I have Melody.
Hi, guys.
So, Kat couldn't be with us this week, but she'll be back next week as we review episode 7 and 8. But today we will be reviewing Oh My Venus episode 5 and 6. So if you missed our review on episodes 3 and 4, you can check out the link in the description box below.
Here's your recap in 60 seconds. We discover that June's stalker is not only her downstairs neighbor, but also the guy who had been following her after she came back from the U.S. and visited Woo-shik's apartment. He'd been watching her since they had begun living in the same complex, and once he witnessed Woo-shik dumping her on their anniversary, he decided to approach her. Of course, June doesn't feel comfortable going back to her house, so she begins living with Ho-young and the guys. Ho-young ends up leaving for a few days, but when he returns, June has returned to the beauty she once was in her face. Woo-shik ends up attacking June's stalker and causes a whole other problem between June, Sojin, Woo-shik, and Ho-young. Also, by the end of the episode, Ho-young realizes he has feeling for June and kisses her. Finally. Oh, my goodness. When he got to that part and he was like, he opened up the umbrella and he was like, because this is my body and you can't say no. I was like, I'm not saying no anyways. I don't know why you thought I was going to say no anyways.
Yes, I think that scene was just perfect, or as they say in Korean, 완벽해, 완벽해. So, it was so good. I was literally like, I want to be behind that umbrella.
For sure. I really like okay, so in Korean dramas, it really annoys me whenever the lead fights it so much. I'm like, okay, you're drawing this out like longer than it should be. So I really like that it's early on and he's just like, you know what? I like this girl. I'm going to go for it. Like, I'm not going to fight it. And like, especially a lot of times if the girl's like overweight or chubby or something, then they'll be like, she's not ideal, so I'm going to fight it. So like, I really like that he just went for it.
Yeah, me too. I think it was a great move on his part. Yeah. And I wish I was her. Yeah.
I was all of his leading ladies.
I can play every single leading lady he has. I'm just saying. So if they want to cast me. My Korean won't be on point, but it'll be there. People will understand me, I think.
I can practice, we can record one line at a time.
Exactly. We can have like a little Korean trainer who trains me in my line. So I say, what's my line? You're like, oh, okay, I know how to say that. Okay, I got it.
All right, so besides the kiss, what were some of your OMG moments?
Okay. So, I have to say that I really look at technical things when it comes to anything, movies, drama, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if it's on the screen, it'll get a technical detail from me. There's this one scene that I actually loved, and it was so simple, but it was done so well that it blew my mind. So when Sojin, the evil girl, the one with the short hair. So when she goes home after dealing with the police station business, all that craziness, she goes home and then she sits in a ball on the floor. And when she looks over to her side, there's like a mirror reflecting her younger image of when she was like that girl. And then of course it showed the past where how she started liking Woo-shik when he was still dating her best friend at the time. So I thought just her being able to see herself as a younger version of herself while sitting in that same position in the mirror was a very good stylistic choice.
I
And I
feel
love
like you, whenever you're talking about it right now, I feel like that might have been like to show how she sees herself. Like I feel like she still sees herself as um, you know, chubby, second rate to um Joan. Like I feel like she still sees herself like that because you see often her nitpickiness, like she has like one piece of salad or one piece of something and like she's disgusted by it. So like I feel like she's maybe still sees herself like that and that's what they were showing us. So that was a very like that was a cool moment.
Yeah, I think also her being picky and everything, it draws me back to the moments where everyone says, "Oh, you're so pretty. We can tell that you have always been beautiful." You know, when they really don't know her past and they don't know anything. And I feel like she never sees herself as beautiful. Like
Yeah.
she never has, and she still doesn't see
Yeah.
herself as beautiful. So when people compliment her, she doesn't take it like, "Oh, thank you," like like people who are confident in themselves would take it. She takes it more like, "Well, if you would have known me when I was
Yeah.
fat, you wouldn't say that." Something like that, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
that also further explains the mirror situation. So at all means, I think it was perfect.
My OMG moments were not as deep as yours.
I'm sorry to take this conversation down there, but I had to. It was one of my favorite scenes.
My OMG moments were much more superficial than that. My first one was in episode. What numbers are we reviewing right now?
Five and six. Five and
Yes,
six.
my first was in 5. Then I had to just scroll back up to my notes to see what episode we were on. I had to pause and recover a couple of times when he takes her to the jiu-jitsu like self-defense thing
Yes.
and he walks out. They come out. He's like, you know, he says, "This is my ideal woman." And she's like, "Why would you bring me to meet your ideal woman?" And I was like, "That's what I'm wondering." And he's like, "That's my ideal woman's husband." And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're cool." And then, so like, anyways, like you see him in the like, I don't know what the technical. I know that the suit has a technical name, but I can't remember what it is. But he's in that jujitsu like suit with the belt and everything, and I was like, "Oh yes, yes, that looks great." And then the whole scene like continued, and I was like, "What country did she save in her past life to be doing this right now?" Because sign me up. Like I think I need self-defense classes from Soji Sub right now. The night that I watched that episode, I sent a voice note to you and Sir, and I said you and Sarah, didn't I? You and Kat. And I was like, "I don't know if y'all have seen this episode yet, but y'all need to watch it because I'm dying."
So that's what that was. I'm now thinking, yeah, I remember you sending me that. But then I was like, why is she saying that?
Oh yes, I was like, oh, I had to share because a friend of mine in a different chat is also watching this, and I voice noted her, and I was like, "Girl, go watch this episode right now and tell me when you get to that scene." And she's like, "What scene?" I was like, "You'll know, you'll know." So yeah, but I finally in episode 6 had a realization when we explained the family tree. So like the grandmother, she had a daughter who married this guy, but she got in a wreck and died. So the grandmother basically like took this guy as a son, and the son that her daughter and son-in-law had is Soji Sub.
Mm.
I just called him Soji Sub. Sorry. He went off to like America to do something else. The guy that's trying to take over right now is the new wife's brother. So the reason I couldn't figure out why why the grandmother was refusing the new wife's son. I thought it was because it was a son that came from a previous marriage, but it's because his dad is not blood like I was thinking. I was thinking his dad was the grandmother's son, but his dad married into the grandmother's family. So the youngest boy right now is not actually the grandmother's blood because her blood's already dead. Like Soji Sub is the only blood she has. So that was kind of an epiphany for me to figure out what exactly that family tree was.
Oh, I'm glad you clarified that because I was still lost.
Yeah,
I was like, what now? I didn't get it. So I just skipped past it and started laughing at other scenes that were happening. But when that part came, I didn't know what was going on. So thank you, Melody. Thank
you. You're welcome. But that was one thing that was like, usually I will like skip past it and like I'll figure it out later. But that was one thing that was like really bugging me. Like I really wanted to figure out the family tree. And when they started explaining it at the restaurant is whenever I was like, okay. Also, I thought it was super funny. Okay, so Chief Min, his like right-hand man, I guess, their relationship is like the best. Their bromance is the cutest thing ever. So like Chief Min was like, you know, so-and-so, the daughter of so-and-so is here to meet you. Go to this restaurant. Well, Chief Min only sent him there so that Soji Sub would overhear the family's conversation about the younger boy trying to take his spot.
Oh, I feel so slow now because I didn't think that. I thought she never showed. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess she's not interested.
I don't think at first I thought she never showed, but then I realized like Chief Min came in and was like, I feel like he made up whatever excuse it was. She couldn't make it tonight or something. But then like he's the one that brought the flowers of apology, and then he had like this smirk on his face because Sojisa, or I keep calling him Sojisa, I'm sorry. So Ho Young he like said something in response like, oh, we'll let her know next time or something like that, and Chief Min just like kind of like smirked and gave him the flowers, and I was like, I see what you did, you sneaky little child. Like it was cute. And then like whenever Ho Young went to get the doctor's report, and then he went to the hotel, and Chief Min like brought him breakfast with a rose and everything, and like they're just their relationship is super cute. I love their bromance. It's great.
I think so too. I like it. We're gonna see more of it though, which is gonna be excellent.
I love it.
So, when recording Korean dramas like this one, the directors usually call out a good take by saying print or a bad take by saying NG or no good. So, what would you give these two episodes, Melody?
I mean, for them, I would give them both prints.
I'm gonna say print too for both of them. I am with you 100%. The good thing is that nothing made me look at the time or say, gosh, when is this drama going to end? Or like, why is this taking so long? Like, everything was paced well. Everything was timed well. Answers to the questions that we had from the previous two episodes were answered. So because of that, I give them both a print. Yeah, definitely. Melody, do you have any predictions?
I'm sure I did at one point, but oh, I know what one of my predictions is. And it's kind of a point. I feel like it's kind of a pointless prediction because it's like a side story. But we're talking about the boxer, and for some reason, I don't remember what made me. Oh, he went to they're alluding to some sort of injury that he's had. And Ho Young tells him to go get a physical, make sure everything's okay, or something like that. And the doctor is like, you know, he's a champion. Or maybe it was whenever, maybe I'm getting confused here. he was fighting somebody. He was in the ring with somebody, in the cage with somebody, and that's what it was. And he beat the person, and whoever Ho Young was talking to was like, he looks like a champion. And they were talking about how he wants to be in this weight class. He wants to be in the higher weight class because if he's in the lower weight class, that seat, the championship seat, is vacant. But he wants to be able to beat somebody out of the championship seat to prove that he's something. So for some reason, I'm thinking like that's alluding to like something's going to happen to him and he's going to have to overcome something, something big to be able to get that championship seat. Because I feel like otherwise it wouldn't have been brought up that he like he wouldn't automatically be awarded this, obviously. So I feel like something's going to come up. I don't know if it's going to be like an injury or like a family. Maybe it might be a family thing because we also saw he went to visit what I assumed was his mom, and she was in an abusive relationship. Whether that's his father or like his stepfather or something, I don't know. But we saw that she's in an abusive relationship. So I feel like something's going to come up with him where that championship title is going to be challenged and he's going to have something to overcome to be able to get that.
My predictions, I had several, and now I can only think of one.
Yeah.
So, the leg injury that Hoyoung has, that they finally said, oh, it's cured. It's kind of like a miracle or something. But he's still dealing with this psychological thing that's going on.
Some pains, basically, I think.
Yeah, like it's like a psychological pain, or I don't know how they described it. But anyways, so he's going through that. I think what's going to happen is that Joan is going to cure him of that, and she's going to be the only one who can be able to do that for him, because especially like in the episode 6, he went out with her for Joan Day.
Yeah.
So he got to see the pleasures in life, not staying to a strict schedule and all that stuff. So I think she's going to really show him something different, which another thing I like about this drama is that you see that he has flaws too, that he's not Mr. I know everything, I'm your trainer, I'm going to save you, and that's the end of the story. So I like that. Because nobody's perfect. So
when you were saying he's got this leg pain, and it's all in his head, he doesn't have, like, it's cured. It's 100% cured, basically. So it's all in his head that he's having this pain. I feel like the knee pain is like represents the like grudge that he has against his father, because there's a flashback at some point that his father was like, I think it was whenever he was being sent off to America, and he basically said, go to America and don't come back until you can kneel before your mother. And that's in reference to his knee. He can't kneel with a busted up knee. So I feel like, whatever killed his mother is I think going to end up being like indirectly his fault. So the father like blamed him for it and sent him away, saying, don't come back until you can kneel in apology to your mother for killing her, basically. And then the knee pain that he has is representative of like the grudge that he's holding against his father for sending him to America in the first place, for sending him away, as opposed to like comforting him through his time of need. So I feel like I was expecting you, whenever you started in that explanation, I was thinking, okay, I think I know where she's going with this, but you didn't. I was thinking that you were going to say that's going to be something that gradually goes away as he gradually forgives his father.
I also think it's a little bit of fear, like, because his childhood, like they showed a little flashback of him going into like the surgery. I'm guessing it was the surgery, and his father wasn't really comforting him.
Yeah.
And so that, as a little kid, nobody's saying everything's gonna be okay. Like nobody's comforting him. He's all by himself. He's enduring this all by himself. I think that traumatic memory is also what is helping the psychological thing to still be there. So that's another thing I think it is too. I do agree though about the father. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I also think in the probably sooner than later, the world's gonna find out who John Kim is because the best friend's husband is hot on that trail, and once it's found out who John Kim is, then Ho Young has this scandal with Anna, whatever, from America. And that's going to be what he has to overcome in the company to be able to take over once the grandma steps down.
I also think Wu Shik is getting close to that too. But Wu Shik was in the office and he was talking to the other guy and showing him the paper of his ID, of Ho Young's ID, saying like, did you find the information or something like that? So I'm thinking that he could also be someone who could find out his identity and then use it against him.
Use it as blackmail or something, probably.
Yeah, in order to get Joan back, because I already know he's gonna start fighting for her. So there's my other prediction.
Yeah. Like you can already tell he's I mean he's beating people up for her. He says, you know, if you've watched us for the last 15 years, so you know I have a right to protect her. So he still feels like her protector.
And I'm waiting because I think what's her name? Sojin? She's gonna do some conniving something. I have a feeling in my bones.
Yeah, she's about to do something too. Which I in the first few episodes, like I did not want her face to even be there. Like hated her, you know, I hate her. But in this last episode, like I'm kind of like beginning to feel sorry for her. But also kind of in a way where I'm like, you deserve it because you're being a little witch right now. Like, maybe what I really want to happen is like, you know, he goes after, Wushik goes after Joan again and, you know, she rejects him. So he goes back to Sojin and maybe she at this point has like softened her heart and had a change of heart and is able to eventually be happy with him.
I don't know. I don't feel bad for her. I still don't like her.
I still don't like her. Like I want to like her because of her past. And like I feel sorry for her whenever that guy was like, oh, now I know that June is turning me down. Like if she was turning me down, she could have just given me a no. She didn't have to embarrass me like that. I was like, dang, dude. I was like, have you looked in the mirror lately? Because anyways, like I felt bad about that. Like I feel sorry for her from her past, not because of her present.
Well, even watching the past, I still don't feel sorry for her. I don't know, maybe I'm being a tough cookie. But all I got from her past was that she trusted some guy who told her that, you know, like her best friend was setting her up because she didn't want to reject the guy. So she was setting her up with the engineer guy, right?
Yeah.
So she's listening to what this guy has to say and not even like, she's like eating his words. She's not saying, oh, well, that's not true. She wouldn't do something like that. Or even, you know, later maybe confronting her. I don't know if she did yet, but I don't think she did because the way that she looked like she already thought that in her mind anyways. And he was just fuel to the flame and making her think that. So I'm just like, okay, so you're already doubting your friend, A. And then when Wuxi came to save her and beat the guy down and take her away, she already started having feelings for her best friend's, you know, boyfriend.
Yeah.
So I'm still not liking her because I'm just like, yo, I mean, so that's how you started liking him because he showed a little bit of kindness. The reason why he showed you kindness was because you're his girlfriend's best friend. So of course he's gonna stand up for you because that's something that she would do for you.
I mean, I can understand like her actions in that way, with as low as her confidence seems to be. And then when that one person knocks a guy out, like knocks him out completely for you and is like, you're better than this, then I can see, especially when it comes from someone as attractive as him. I can see where she was like, okay. Like, I can see where, like, her heart would kind of skip a little bit because someone as attractive as him just knocked this guy on the ground and said, you know, you're better than this. So that's probably the first time that she's heard that type of compliment from somebody that attractive.
So that's it for this episode, you guys. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to follow any of the reviewers, me or Melody, you can find our links down below, find where we're at on social media. So come and hang out with us next week as we review episodes 7 and 8. But until then, keep it dramatic.
Bye.
Bye.